My name is James Howlett. I am here with my uncle, Larry Howlett, at the Office of Families First Choice. I just tried to be reasonable and go in there and make the final arrangements. We're getting rid of this sitting company. Anybody who uses Family First Choice should beware. It should be called Families No Choice. But the Miss Lakeisha in here is being as evil as she wants to be. So to finalize the business, she's saying she has to have my uncle or whatever, even though my dad has a legal power of attorney. So my uncle had a stroke not too long ago. I've been trying to spare him all of this drama. But come on, let's try to make it in there. See if we can take care of this. No, just sit tight, baby. I'm looking right at you. I'm right inside the door here. Come on, Aunt. You could do it. Take your time. We ain't in no hurry, my man. Come on, give me your hand. Let me help you with that. All right, let's try to make it inside here. Take your time, Aunt.
Oh, shoot. I should have my chair.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Here, come on, sit down, Aunt. You don't got to go through all this. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And this would not be necessary if it was not for Lakeisha, whatever her name is, inside of Family First Choice. I just brought my dad, is my uncle's legal power of attorney. I bought a bill from Cox Cable, which is my uncle's cable company, to them because, as you all know, they, without my father's authorization, they went and had my uncle's social security check signed over to them based on a bunch of lies that Lakeisha told her. She's still lying. She just told a lie just right now saying she didn't know who I was and all of this kind of old crap. And saying that she can't, they not go accept my dad's power of attorney or whatever, which is illegal. My father is the legal power of attorney of Larry Howlett. So let's see what goes on. This is ridiculous. My uncle Larry Howlett is sitting in the car. He just tried to walk into this office, but he couldn't make it. He's in a wheelchair. He walks short distances. I had him in the car with me. I don't have his wheelchair. So, and also, okay. All right. He's right here in the car. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Can you not record me?
This is evil. Well, no, you said you need to talk to my uncle. We need a record. Well, my uncle is right there. This is Lakeisha, the supervisor, that said she needed to talk to my uncle. My uncle is right here. He's a stroke victim and a diabetic. Now, she said she needed to talk to him. He's here. She's closing the door. This is the level of professionalism you get from Families No Choice. And I cannot wait to put this on the internet. And feel free. Feel free. So you would rather do that than to take care of a diabetic Alzheimer's patient that your company is supposed to be caring for. That's what you would rather do. So for everybody on the internet, this is the choice that Lakeisha, this is her, this is the choice that she made. You all heard when I just came in here just now, and she claimed that she didn't know any of the family and all of that kind of stuff. She didn't know who I was.
Situation in my office. The officer to come out.
Yeah, and I will gladly meet them out here.
Evangeline Street.
Now, instead of going to talk to, now you heard her say she wanted my uncle. My uncle's sitting in the car. Now she calling the police. That's my uncle sitting in the car. Now you heard her out your own mouth. This is y'all supervisor at Family First Choice. You heard her. You were standing right there. I recorded that too. She said that she needed to speak to my uncle, Larry Howlett. That's my uncle sitting in the passenger seat. That's him.
Our permission about something that's going on with our client. We haven't seen this man in a whole month, and he wants us to give him money.
Oh, that's another lie. Did you hear? Okay. Keep lying. See, that's why the recorder is going. I gave y'all a written statement showing you.
So he's upset. So he needs the recorder.
Okay. And I'm gonna, now you heard that. My name is James Howlett. Yep. Now she just told a Monroe City police officer that I came up here demanding money and I'm upset. That is not what I did. It's for Planet Fitness.
I have no idea what kind of pants he has on.
They're blue sweats.
Blue sweats. My name is Keisha.
Now, you heard her say she wanted my uncle. He right there. She just told the police that I came up here demanding money and was mad because I didn't get it. I gave you a letter to make a copy of, showing you that my uncle had moved. And so that his rent would not be going to St. Francis in January the 1st. How is that demanding money? That's a liar. That's a liar and an evil person. That is a liar and an evil person. Because you don't want your lies exposed. This woman, whoever this lady is to you, just witnessed your lie. That's your character. Your character is suspect. It sucks. You just told a police officer. Okay, that's fine. So stop lying. Stop lying. Quit acting like a hood rat. You running a business. A business taking care of old people at that. A business taking care of elderly people at that. Alzheimer's patients.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Okay, so I came up here today, and the reason that I'll be recording is because that lady lies a lot. So I have my uncle in the car. I don't have his wheelchair with me. My uncle has had a stroke a while back. He's an Alzheimer's patient. He has dementia. I'm trying to spare him all of this drama. Okay. So now what I did today is I brought this young lady. I gave her a thing letting them know that my uncle is moving out of St. Francis with my dad. My dad has a power of attorney for him. I also gave my uncle's cable bill that's in his name attached to his apartment to her to make copies. And so as I did that, she said that she wasn't going to honor anything unless she spoke to him. And I told her, I was like, well, my dad has power of attorney, which y'all have. And she didn't want to honor that anyway.
Okay, so if your dad has power of attorney, then your dad need to be here talking, not you.
I was just giving her paper.
Okay.
That's it. So now the other part of that was she said she wanted to speak to my uncle. So I said, okay, you know what? This the last time we're going to have to do this. I was like, you want to talk to him, Unc? You up for it? He said he was up for it. I tried to walk him in here. That's why I parked the car right there where it was at. He couldn't make it. Okay. So I took him back to the car. I said, you don't have to go through all this. I'll take you back to the car. That Lakeisha lady just called 911 and told Monroe City police officers that I came up here demanding money, and when I didn't get it, I was mad. That is an absolute lie. I have video to prove it. This is my uncle in the front seat.
I know Mr. Larry. I know Mr. Larry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's my thing is, so if your dad has, we have no problem honoring, but if your dad has power of attorney, then your dad need to be doing everything that you're doing. I mean,
I'm just dropping off
what
paper.
you're doing.
I'm just dropping off
Well,
paper.
no, you said you was coming to get some money.
No, not at all. I'll give you a copy of what I just gave them because I got plenty. Right? Lakeisha said I was coming up here to get money. That's not what I did. What I gave her was this right here. I gave her two things. I gave her this and I gave her this. A copy of my uncle's. This is the letter that I gave to her, saying that my uncle had moved, and as of January 1st, that they wouldn't pay the rent at St. Francis Tower. They would give it to my dad. That's January 1st. That's not up here demanding money and mad and left. And then I gave her my uncle's cable bill, which hasn't been paid for 2 months. Now, his basic cable package is tied to his rent. He has other things that he watches that's not a part of his basic package. That's why he's had this cable for 2 years. So he still wants the same cable. So, and that's all I was trying to do. That's it. That's all.
I will make sure. I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to keep a copy. I just called for his case manager to shed some light on this, but they had already gone for today. So I asked her to please give me a call on Monday morning because this here is something that she needs to be coordinating, not us. The only thing that we do for your uncle is provide services in his home. Everything else needs to be coordinated with his case manager.
Okay, now, you know what? Now, if I would have walked through that door and you told me that, you know what I would have said? I would have said it's good because I don't run. You run your business. I can't tell you how to run your business. All you had to do was tell me that, and I said, you know what? I'm at the wrong place. So you mean I'm supposed to be giving this to Easter seals, not you?
They need a copy of it, but
you
we
see
will
how
make
easy
sure
that is?
we will make sure that they, like I say, because I heard you and her talking on the phone earlier, and I went and I called Easter Seal, trying to shed some light on it. They said that Mr. Larry had switched from our company. Don't have a problem with that. People can switch to whomever, but the case manager need to let us know this information. We have to know.
Okay, and that's why we wrote the letter, because all of this is happening right now. This just happened last week, and I know it's a paperwork. It takes time. It's the Christmas holidays.
But even with that, and I mean, we're still open. I mean, even with that, we should have been. The case manager should have notified us when you went, when your dad or Mr. Larry went and changed. Don't have a problem with that. People do it every day. Then they need to notify us so we can be getting all of our information in order, what we need to do for an easy transition, because like you say, everything is a paper trail,
and that's what I was trying to do. That's why I brought paperwork. And I was real cordial when I went in there. That lady is just evil, and I think I don't know anything about that, but
I
understand.
She is professional. I mean, because we have to. We have to cross every I, and we have to dot every I and cross every T. I mean, that's just the state rules and regulations. It's just what we have to do.
So, but what she just did, just to let you know, she said that she didn't know who I was. She said that she hadn't seen my uncle, as if something was going on with him. She said that she wasn't.
We haven't. And
I've talked to you guys on the phone several times.
Okay, but I know what you're saying. But then, like you say, you don't understand the process. If the state of Louisiana call us and ask us how Mr. Larry is doing, then we're going to say, we don't know. And they're going to mean, what you mean you don't know? Well, he's not at home. Well, where is he? You're supposed to be servicing him Monday through Sunday until we get written documentations from the state saying that we no longer service him. And I mean, I know
that's what Easter Seal's supposed to be doing.
I know, haven't heard a thing.
But now, just between me and you, man, if adult people should be able to stand face to face and just have a simple conversation. All the lies and slander and all that stuff is not even necessary. That woman just lied to the Monroe City Police Department for the second time. I got it on tape the first time. So, I mean, that's not professional. And my uncle had a stroke. He's an Alzheimer's patient. Y'all take care of old people. You would think somebody would consider that to make this an easy process. I even said that in
like I told you the last time. And I don't know why everybody didn't come to the table on this, because you tell us one thing, and like I told you when you were saying that Lakeisha told me about Mr. Larry, about you all. That's not true. I went over to your uncle's house when all this confusion started, and I talked to your uncle, and the same information that you say he told you all about us, he told me the same thing about you guys. I don't have no reason to lie on your uncle. I don't have no reason to lie to you, because like I say, I don't know you, I know your uncle. So when we get conflicting information like that, then we have to do what the patient tell us to do.
No,
Because we are working with the patient. We and families, and because I know my mom is in the program, and they have difficult time understanding. I mean, we talk to the family, but we don't have to. We talk to the family out of courtesy. The only somebody that we have to talk to about Mr. Larry is Mr. Larry and his brother. Nobody else. But you know, we just do things out of courtesy, and then people get it all twisted, thinking, well, they acting funny, they won't talk to us. It's not even about that.
I've never once demanded anything.
Yeah, but we are trying to do, you know. But
I've never once demanded anything.
Yeah.
Now you guys work with Alzheimer's patients and everything, so you know, if anybody in official capacity come and they say something to my uncle, just want to watch his westerns, I'm on video telling the police that. The moment I walk out the door, he might say something completely different. But then the moment you walk out the door, he might say something completely different. And he might mean both of them. He just want peace. He wanted to go away.
You know, like I say, I've been working with your uncle since we had him, and he is in early time dementia, but all of his recollection and his thoughts, they are not gone. So y'all don't give him give him a lot of credit.
No, I do. Not by any means am I saying he's gone.
He can sit down and he can have a real conversation with you, and then you can come back 30 or 40 minutes later and you can ask him about that conversation and he still remember it. So I mean,
we talk about stuff from when I was young.
So I'm saying, you know, even though you know he's probably in early dementia, but he's still up there. He still has something up there.
I believe my father would have been able to deal with you, this could have went
your father,
completely different.
No, because when your father first started out dealing with me, and then all of a sudden he didn't answer phones. I called, Lakeisha said, well, I called, and Mr. What is his name, James, he don't answer. So I called.
Yeah, I had trouble getting him to answer the phone.
Him.
He works,
and I'm like, Mr. James, this is Lydia Martin. I need to talk to you about Mr. Larry. Mr. James, this is Lydia Martin. I need to talk to you about Mr. Larry. And I mean nothing. So that's not true. Because I was dealing with him at first.
No, I had trouble getting my dad to answer the phone. So I know that part of that is true. A lot of times his phone is in the car while he's inside the building working, whatever. So that part of it I get. The only thing that I don't get is don't make your words stand for something. Don't be a liar. I mean, we cannot agree. Like right now, me and you have a difference of opinion. I find it hard to believe that, you know, my uncle said something derogatory about the family, especially considering that him and his brother been together since knee high. Now, I'm not saying that you a liar or anything like that.
No, it wasn't anything derogatory. I asked him point blank about his finances. How do you want this to go down? You're in control of it. Your brother has it, because we go over there. It wouldn't be food. It wouldn't be this. It wouldn't be that. And it was nothing that we can do but try to call your dad and get your dad and stuff. So when I asked your uncle, what did he want to do with his money, he told me that he did not want your dad to manage his money. Went to the Social Security, and because I couldn't go to the Social Security office and tell him I want Mr. James to not be over, because the people gonna look at me like, you don't have a say so who's over.
Well, my dad never was. It always went directly to my uncle. They didn't need that before. And then as far as when I first started coming here, Miss Ola May used to tell me that it was the first time I saw Miss Ola May. She told me that my uncle didn't have food. Now, I just came down here from Wisconsin. The first thing I did was look in the cabinets. It was plenty of food. I have Miss Ola May on tape saying the same thing while I was making a recording for my own personal self. And then she jumped in and said, "No, he don't have something." And then I said, "Well, what don't he have, Miss Ola May?" And she said, "Well, he don't have breakfast." I was like, "So on the days that he don't have breakfast, do you guys just leave without feeding him, or what do you feed him?"
They go to the store and they buy it. They buy the food because they have bought receipts up here, and I have paid them money back. No, we're not going to just let him stay
So
hungry.
who has bought food for my uncle when there was no food in the house?
Miss
Is there?
Ola May, because she's been his major worker.
That, you see, she didn't say that. So now that would be the time. It seemed like to me the day that I had to buy breakfast for a patient because he didn't have.
Don't think the case manager was not notified, sweetie. We
No,
called
but
the case manager.
That's for like elder abuse. So what did the case manager do?
Now,
They ignored it.
You got to talk to the case manager. I can't tell you what they did. We reported. We reported to the case manager what we're supposed to do.
But don't you supposed to report to the state? That's like elder abuse.
I've been doing this 20 years, and I know the way it go with the state. We reported to the case manager, and that's what we did. Okay. And then my understanding was, and I'm not absolutely certain about this, but seemed like to me when we got your dad that they told us that from wherever he was coming from, that same situation was under investigation. So it's not like it ain't been reported to the state. Now you need to go talk to your dad because it has been reported to elderly abuse. Family's First Choice didn't do it, but it has been reported.
Yeah. See, I ain't seen none of that kind of stuff. The only thing that I have seen that I can say that I've seen firsthand is my uncle ain't never been homeless. He ain't never missed a meal.
Right.
My dad has been taking care of him his whole life. So they didn't get to 78 and all of a sudden my father can't figure out how to take care of him no more.
Well, I can't talk about, nor am I concerned about to that extent what happened before he got to Family's First Choice. I don't know. I only can talk about what we have seen since he's been here. Anything else? I can't talk about that. I'm not aware of that. Because like I say, I know because we get his records. That was in his record. So I know that was going on. Now, who called or whatever, I have no idea.
I know what that was. That was, he had a girlfriend at the time. And the girlfriend and my dad. What happened up? Okay, you guys, y'all hush, baby. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get him out of here.
Okay.
But
I will get this here, and I will make sure. In fact, I'm finna go fax all this over to the case manager. Like I say, I called when you and Lakeisha was on the phone to try to see what was going on, but they had already closed for the day. But you can call them Monday morning. They will have a copy of this because I'm finna fax it.
Okay, thank you.
Then.
Now, that's all it took. Was somebody with some sense. Now, I don't agree with half of what the lady is saying, and I do believe that part of what she's saying is not all the way genuine, because at first, what she said was the same thing that I was saying about them is what my uncle was telling them about me. And then when I said I find that hard to believe, then she changed it to...
This lady makes like she makes some sense.
Yeah. She was cool. She was cool in the gang. I could talk to her, even though I don't agree with what she was saying. But but then she said that it was about the finances. And so then she also said, oh, okay. So I guess just let me park. Let me back up and park.
She must have been a supervisor.
I think she's the owner.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How's it going, gentlemen? I was just pulling out when y'all was pulling in. What happened was my uncle, who was in the passenger seat, he's an Alzheimer's patient that they sit with, that they're supposed to take care of. So now there's been a back and forth between the family and them
What's your name? Sorry.
My name is James Howlett.
Okay.
I'm the nephew of Larry Howlett.
Okay.
Okay, so I came up here today because I brought them, and I'll show you. I have a copy of it. They were supposed to pay my uncle's cable bill, and they're responsible for paying his rent. His cable hasn't been paid in 2 months, so I brought them a copy of the bill, and then I also brought a piece of paper letting them know that my uncle is moving out of St. Francis Tower, and he's moving in with my dad. So you coordinate that with my dad. My dad has power of attorney for my uncle, which they have. As I was in there giving, I'll point this to the ground if you don't like it. It's as I was in there giving them the paper, the lady that we originally had the problem with, her name is Lakeisha Weathersby, something like that. She's told plenty of lies on me. The last time I came to pick up his diapers, I called the police, which I have that too. I record everything. I have it recorded. Well, I had a police officer on the phone with me as I walked in there so that there couldn't be any lies told to pick up his diapers. That's how bad the situation is. So today, as I'm dropping this paperwork off, she starts on the speakerphone from the back. Don't talk to him. We don't know who that is. And I was like, you've talked to me plenty of times in my uncle's apartment in the presence of the police. Well, you don't have a power of attorney, which I don't. So I'm like, here's this paperwork or whatever, and I'm leaving. She says that she's I'm telling the lady now, I'm saying, see how evil this is? She's just being evil. You guys, this is the last month we're dealing with you guys. We're going to another company. So why not just let it be easy? My uncle's had a stroke. He has Alzheimer's. Why not just let it go? And so she was like, oh, well, we're not listening to none of that. And if it's not coming from your uncle, so I'm like, fine, I take off. But as I'm leaving, I'm kind of like upset because I know they're going to pull a stunt this month. Just that last little jab at you. So I'm like, you know what? I got my uncle in the car. Why not just let him, go in there and speak for himself, which he's very capable of doing. So I pull up to the door and I try to walk my uncle in. I have that on video as well, too. My uncle made it halfway. He couldn't make it. He does that Alzheimer's shuffle thing. So I told him, you know what, you don't have to deal with this. So I took him and I put him back in the car. When I put him back in the car, I went in there to tell them that, okay, he's out in the car. You could come out and talk to him. The Lakeisha girl is who made the scene. She came out the door. When she came out the door, she was like, "Why did you quit recording?" I was like, but you said you wanted to talk to my uncle. There he is. She flipped the script, blew a handle, went back in the door. So that's fine with me. I ain't got no problem with that. So then I'm talking to the other lady again. The Lakeisha lady calls the police. And when she calls the police, she tells the dispatcher that I came into the office demanding money. When I didn't get the money, I got upset and that I was in there throwing a fit. I have everything recorded, all of it. You can watch it. You can see it. What I gave them was a paper and I was leaving. I was trying to say it loud enough for your dispatcher to hear. I was like, that's a lie. I'm giving them paperwork, blah, blah, blah. So how do you call the police to say that that's a false report? How do you call the police saying that somebody's up here demanding money and they're mad they didn't get it when I'm telling you how to pay his rent on the 1st of January? That's not how I'm going to get mad about that. That's a lie. That is a straight up lie. I have her on video telling another police officer a lie in my uncle's apartment where she made accusations against our family saying that we were mistreating my uncle. And that's what she went back and told them that. And so when it came down to it, when the police was present, I said, we're all here. They took my uncle. My dad has power of attorney for my uncle. Without, my dad's at work.
He lives right here.
Yes, right here in Monroe.
So you're just helping him.
My dad is 79. My uncle's 78. My uncle's already had a stroke. So I'm just trying to take some of this stress off of them and do some of this stuff. I have no legal authority to tell anybody anything. That's why I'm just dropping off papers. But in the paper, and you can take a copy of it with you, it specifically says, that my dad has the power of attorney that he already gave them. So that's what all of this was about. And then I was telling
Did y'all resolve anything here?
Oh yeah, I was leaving. The
You're
owner,
on the way out?
yeah, the owner had
I gotta
came
go
out.
speak with them real quick.
Okay, no
Hang
problem.
here for a second.
No problem. But yeah, this is ridiculous.
How much more dealings you got with these?
This is the last month. This is the last, and she couldn't just let it go. She could not just let it go. She has to take her last minute stabs. And they keep saying that my uncle is saying stuff about the family. My uncle is like 78, 77 or 78. My dad is like 79.
Yeah.
My uncle had surgery when he was 3.
Yeah.
Somebody in my family has taken care of my uncle his entire life.
Yeah.
Only since we've been here in Monroe, and you have the state involved and stuff like that, where like a sitting agency and stuff like that. That's the only way it's a problem. It's some kind of thing, like people are going like after the check. I even told them, my uncle's check is $700 a month. After you pay his rent, after you buy his medication, after you buy his groceries, there's nothing left. You know that's how come they haven't paid the cable bill. Now that they stole the money, they're finding that out real quick.
They're good on their end. You said you're about to head out.
Yeah, I was leaving when you guys were showing up. But just out of curiosity, that's not a false report to bring you guys all the way out here for something that I can prove is a lie. It's a straight up lie. I'd never stop recording. I have the recorder going the whole time.
You said you're about done with these people, right?
Yeah, I am.
You've got like what, a couple more days left?
I'll probably never have to see them again, period. On January 1st, you get to change providers no matter what.
I
But
would just get out of here and never worry about these people ever again, because they're going to have a story, and you've got your story. I would just let them be how they are, and you move on with your life.
okay, and I know.
You have to make the report first before you can file a false police report.
Yeah.
Not just
Oh, okay, I get it. I
She
get it.
hasn't
I get it.
actually made it yet, because she said they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, she's a liar, and she's evil and vindictive. And these are old people that they have custody of, that they're supposed to be taking care of. Yeah. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Have a good day. Now, once again, this is the second time that they've... Oh, because the people called the police, baby. It happens. But this is the second time Lakeisha has called the police on a false claim and would not stand behind her statements or her report. She didn't even file the report because it was a lie. I have it all on tape. So that's the second time. This is family's first choice. This is how they do business. So, I wanted to go back to what the owner was saying. That's some kind of, well, I'm not a bad guy, baby. That's why I'm not going to jail. You see, we leaving. My uncle had a girlfriend at one time that whenever it comes to my uncle, my dad protects my uncle. The thing down here is, it's like, listen, baby, I'm talking, sweetie. That's the move down here. That's the get up. Whenever somebody wants they foot in the door, as they claim some type of wrongdoing.